Welcome everyone. Today's video, we've got supplies from Craft Outlet and Hobby Lobby, and we are going to be making a rainbow baby wreath. So I've already started and thought I was recording, but here I am just showing the crossbars, and in between the crossbars, the first two inner rings, I'm going to place one pipe cleaner. On the outer two rings, I'm going to place two pipe cleaners, and there's 6 sections. Each section gets 3 pipe cleaners, so it's a total of 18 pipe cleaners. And this is pretty much how I make my work wreath. They are very affordable this way. You figure maybe $1.50 versus $4 or $5 for the other ones. So I've got my ribbon. These two are from Craft Outlet, and I'm just cutting that little folded end off. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this a little bit different as far as cutting my ribbon. So I found my 14-inch, and I fold it over, and I'm trying to make it as precise as possible. And all I do is continue to fold it over on itself until I have 16 tails. Typically I cut them one by one, but I thought I'd try this to see if it, helps with any time or anything like that. And I really like this method. So then I just go in between with my scissors where the folded ends are, and I cut those. So I take one and I fold it in half, and then I fold it in half lengthwise, and this just cut it going down up to the ribbon, and this is a dovetail. So rather than just doing one at a time, I just decided to grab a few at one time and then just dovetail each end. You could probably do more than just 3 at a time or 2 at a time if you had some really good scissors, but I don't really invest in very expensive scissors, but these work just as well. So here I've got my 2 rolls of mesh, and I just think these are absolutely beautiful. And since I'm using 2 full rows, I'll be cutting them at 40 inches each. So here's my first set of 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and do another set. So my wonderful husband bought me this self-healing mat, and it's about 50 inches long, so I really enjoy this mat than how I used to do it in the past. So here my oh my goodness, I can't think of any. Anyways, my tool, my rotary cutter, it was getting really hard to turn, and so I just took it apart a little bit and cleaned off all the little debris and stuff that kind of gets built up in there, and put it back together, and it works just fine. So with each roll of deco mesh at 40 inches, you'll get 9 cuts of each. So here I actually messed up. I don't usually cut 2 rolls at a time, and so when I was doing this, I'm like, wow, this is kind of thick. And then I realized in just a little bit that these are 2 pieces, and so I went ahead and undid them. And so I'm going to actually just do a cruffle method. I'm rolling one end 3 or 4 times, and this is one of the later pieces on the roll, so it already kind of gives its own curl effect to it. And I like to do the big curls. I don't like to mash them down. I like to just have the natural curl, the fullness, and I think it looks better to me that way. Now, as you notice, as I am putting this on, the very last row of colors on the left is the blue, and the very last row of colors on the right when I attach it is green. So I go ahead and keep that method on as I attach each piece, and making sure that the left hand side has the green and the right hand side has the yellow, just to have consistency. You probably don't have to do that, but I'm a little OCD, and so that's why I tend to do stuff like that. But if you did it either way, it would come out just as beautiful. I mean, honestly, when you have it all attached, you're not really seeing it or paying attention to it anyways. So now I have all my ribbons. I cut the other ribbon off camera and I folded them in half and dovetailed them all. So now I just kind of walk my fingers up the ribbon where it was in the middle, and I just attach it, do a 2 to 3 good twists with my pipe cleaners, and then I spread out my ribbon. And I don't know if I told you before, but yeah, they were cut at 14 inches. I typically cut mine at 14 inches, but the smallest I will go is 13, so it's really up to you. Now I do take and cut to where there's about a ½ an inch of the pipe cleaner left, and then I fold that under. I like to leave just a little bit in case, because I've done it before where I've cut it off and then I found out that either my ribbons weren't placed properly, or like as far as one color being on top, and I had to redo it. So I try to leave a little bit of tail. Sometimes I just fold it all under. It just really depends on what you like to do. So here's this beautiful rainbow baby sign, and this is actually what inspired me to do it. I bought this at Hobby Lobby and it was on clearance, but I'd actually seen a lot of videos on Instagram about, you know, rainbow babies and stuff, and then so when I saw this sign, I thought it would just be it was just an inspiration piece for me. I knew I already had the ribbon at home, and I think I had just ordered some of this mesh as well, and so I pretty much had everything at home, and I just wanted a nice, beautiful way for people to celebrate their rainbow babies. But I thought I was filming when I attached the pipe cleaners to the sign, but I wasn't. So I actually just utilized a staple gun and stapled the pipe cleaners on there. So once I have my sign on there and I already have an idea of where my bow is going to go, I just take the rest of the tails that I knew I had to apply on the top portion of the wreath, and I go and do the same thing. Just add them and then cut a little bit off and fold it under and fluff out the tails. So today I'm just going to make one bow, and I'm going to use my Easy Bow Maker. And I'm actually, whenever I do one bow, I typically do one that has like 14-inch tails, but you can definitely do different lengths on your longer tails if you want. I just typically go for 14 inches. I'm not much of a person that likes to twirl or curl my ribbon, but if you definitely want to do that, then I would say go with a little bit longer tails. So then I did 6-inch loops, one on each side, and I did an 8-inch tail at the top. I go ahead and do the 8-inch tail because I know that as I go through my wreath and fluffing my ribbon and stuff after it's on my wreath, then I can definitely cut them down to size. So my first set is going to be 6-inch scales, and then as I do my other sets, my loops get smaller and smaller. So I got this other ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and it just had pink hearts on it, and I thought it was just a cute little addition to the wreath. I like to make my bows in odd numbers. As far as ribbon, I like to do odd numbers. Again, it's just one of my OCD things. But so on the 1.5-inch wired ribbon, I'm cutting it at an angle, and with the 2.5-inch ribbon, I'm just dovetailing them. So I'll just go back and forth. I think I do 3 sets of the ribbon, where I do 2 sets with 14 inches, and then I go back in and I do 1 set with just 8-inch tails. While you're watching the bow making process, I do want to take the time to say thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. I hope it brings you inspiration, and maybe this is something that you'll try. This would be a very perfect gift for a friend, a family member, just anything. Just the true meaning of the rainbow baby is wonderful. If you don't know what it is, a rainbow baby is the baby that is born after the parents have a miscarriage with the other child. But again, thank you so much for stopping by and taking some time out of your day to spend time with me. And if you would like and subscribe to my channel. Saw that you listened to a little bit more music for the remainder of the video, but I hope that you all have a very blessed day and week, and I'll see you all in the next video.